Good day, colleagues.
Good day, and how are you?
I'm okay. I am Dr. Mzimela, Dr. Jabulile Mzimela. I'll be the chair for this session. Can we start now? It's 21 minutes past 2, or we have to wait a bit? Are all the presenters here? Do we have?
I'm in as a first presenter, Doctor.
Okay, so I think we can start. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Shonisani. We have our first presenter, Dr. Shonisani. You have 20 minutes for your presentation, and then you have 10 minutes for question and answer. Your title is Practitioners' Perception Regarding the Leadership and Management in Rural Early Childhood Education, the Rural Childhood Development Centers. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you so much, Doctor, and good afternoon, colleagues. I am Dr. Shonisani Agnes Murovedzi. I'm from University of Venda at Limpopo Province. And my topic is under the theme Leadership and Management in ECD. And my topic is Practitioners' Perception Regarding the Leadership and Management in Rural Early Childhood Development Centers. The scope of my presentation is as indicated. I'm not going to read it. And my introduction is the understanding of leadership and management operating in early childhood development setting. It's a challenge because the extent to which the transformational leadership that can influence the core pedagogical task and the quality of ECD setting is not yet fully understood, especially in the ECD centers.
Just a moment, Dr. Shonisani, can you please put your slides on slideshow? Because at the moment it's so tiny, we can't see it.
It's so tight. Thank you. Is that okay?
No, just put on slideshow. Slideshow,
yes,
and then current. Yes, it's better, much better.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is my scope of presentation, as I've already indicated. And the introduction is the understanding of leadership and management operating in early childhood development setting. It's a challenge because the extent to which the transformational leadership that can influence the core pedagogical task and the quality of ECD setting is not yet fully understood, especially in rural ECD centers, not to say in the ECD centers that are in urban or semi-urban is not a challenge. It is, but in a rural area, it is more challenge. The leaders in ECD setting should demonstrate an ambitious vision on how to lead and have a high expectation of what all children can achieve and ensure high standard of provision and care for children. And therefore, interaction and relationship between the ECD heads and the ECD practitioners is a strong predictor of children's learning development and well-being, meaning that if there is a good leadership that is shown in ECD centers, really the practitioners, when they go to the class, they will enjoy and feel free to teach children and even have more innovative and creative ideas. Douglas, 2019, suggested that the researchers in leadership plays a central role in improving the sustaining process quality in ECD. So it means if people or leaders try to improve and sustain the quality of leadership in ECD setting, the practitioners will also enjoy the facilities. And the theoretical of this study was underpinned by transformational leadership theory for Baz and Avilio, 1994. The transformational leadership theory is where we expect the leader to make the follower as a leader also. So it means we are expecting the leaders in the ECD centers, the way how they manage, the way how they lead, to also make the practitioners to be a leader also. Now, what is the statement of the problem of this study? There's problem that within the ECD centers, some practitioners have challenge on the way the leaders operate and manage the centers. So the study aim was to explore practitioners' perception regarding the leadership and management in rural ECD centers. The study want to hear from the hosts, from the practitioners themselves, how the leaders lead, how the ECD heads lead in the ECD centers. And the purpose was to explore the practitioner's perception. And if the leaders are doing or are leading properly, it's where you can see at the left-hand side, the preschool teachers busy playing with the learners, because between these two, the practitioner and the heads, there is a good relationship. So the study of the purpose of this study was to go and explore whether is this existing. Now, the research question of this study was to what are the practitioners' perception regarding the leadership and management in rural ECD centers? Currently, or the time when I visited there, the practitioners were having a problem the way how the head controls the institution, were having a problem the way how they delegate themselves. Even the leaders were too much dictate in such a way that they don't have any time to give their views. So the question is also important in this study because it assisted me as a researcher to find out what is currently happening when between the leader or the ECD heads and the practitioners. And the objective of this study was to explore the practitioner's perception. And when I went out for doing the research, I was thinking that the ECD heads need to empower the practitioners, solve the challenges, be innovative, have a good vision, proactive, and motivate and influence and inspire even the practitioners. So that was the objective of the study. Now, what is the research and the design and methodology of the study? The study wanted to understand the respondents' perception regarding the leadership and management in rural ECD centers. Qualitative method used to collect this data. As a result, the researcher was able to value the perception of practitioners regarding the way how the leaders in ECD center from the different ECD centers that they are belongs. And the population of this study was all the ECD practitioners from Sibasa area. But then a non-probability purposeful sampling procedure was used to select 12 practitioners from 4 ECD centers in Sibasa area, but focusing on rural area, Then maybe one can ask, what is non-probability sampling? It's when the researcher rely on their own judgment when choosing participant of the population to participate in the study. The ethical consideration, prior to the start of the project, ethical approval was formally sought from the Research Ethics Committee of the researchers institution, and also permission to carry out the study was granted by the Department of Basic or Education, and participation in the study was also bring to the attention that to the participation that is voluntarily and assured of confidentiality and their responses and anonymity of their identities. Now, the data collection, if you can see on the left-hand side, it's myself busy conducting the face-to-face interview and semi-structured interview used to collect this data. And data analysis through semi-structured interview were analyzed, reduced, and interpreted. And the analysis is presented according to the format of the interview schedule used with the respondent. It means in the study, there was also a theme also developed, and the participants were given code to avoid the to monitor the anonymity. Discussions was the environment constraint of the EC head role are so powerful that they form specific attitudes towards the practitioners. So it means when during the face-to-face interview, practitioners were complaining that in some ECDs, especially the one that I visited, you find that there are, I mean, where especially the ECD that I selected, the participant, it was having a problem because the practitioners were complaining to say the heads are so much powerful, they don't have time to share with ideas. Sometimes they're surprised to have that there are a parent meeting and many things that are planned without their intention. And all this, we realize that the heads lack of relevant training, and also the EC practitioners were expected even to be respected when if they give a view. So it means they were expected to be respected and maybe to be advised politely. And the ECE practitioners prefer to remain focused on teaching young children instead. So these practitioners end up deciding to say when they go to the ECD centers, their job is only to focus on teaching learners because they were used to not even to be delegated to do any responsibility within the ECD. And the findings reveals that in most cases, there is a confusion between the managing and leading roles and responsibilities. So it means the ECD had they only focus on, they forgot to share the roles to the practitioners so that they can even make them to be a follower or to be a leaders, especially during their absence when they are organizing some of the things. And they perform two distinct roles at a time. I know that in schools or in ECD centers, principal can also teach and also manage the ECD center. But some, they are too much selfish in such a way that they are failing even to share any roles to the practitioners. So the ECD heads are dictators, and advice from the practitioners mostly not accepted because they are using a type of laissez-faire management style. Some they are using autocratic styles. Most of the ECD heads who lead and manage centers are the initiator, and they are not upgrading themselves. So the study also revealed that some of the ECD centers, they are the one who started the centers. And now if someone comes, they don't want to share the roles and the responsibility. They felt that if practitioner given the role, they can take the opportunity or to be a leader of that particular ECD centers. In conclusion, the study concluded that ECD effective heads cannot perform dual duty without sharing. They cannot teach once they lead, and at the same time, they must train practitioners to lead during their present. And there is a need to revise leadership and management in ECD centers. And I am happy because on the 1st of July 2021, there was a note saying from next year, 1st April 2022, the all ECD centers will be followed under the Department of Basic Education. Maybe it's the time wherein the Department of Basic Education will engage them and even encourage them maybe to upgrade themselves. The commonality of the findings in this research with those from previous research shows that the lack of training is a problem, and that is why at the end of the day they are lacking of understanding and understanding the role as a heads as an ECD heads centers. The study recommended that the ECD centers should be run efficiently, sustainably, and effectively in caring young children. It is essential that ECD heads are trained to learn some leadership qualities. Remember, there are some leaders that they are expected to be developed to a particular person. So it means the leader, there are some qualities that are made to the individual and some they are born with. So it is recommended that the ECD centers must be allowed to be trained in order to learn some leadership qualities. The role of the leadership and management in ECD centers should increase performance and development a competent practitioner by sharing and assigning them some roles within the ECD centers. ECD heads must have knowledge of management leadership style. What is democratic style? What is a laissez-faire style? What is authoritative style? All those styles are important and they can get only through training from different, by the Department of Education or even some universities. The study also recommended that the ECD heads must have a strong and clear vision to support their practitioners. My end notes is Seal, Rose, and Emerson state that for supervision and support of practitioners at ECD centers to be successful, there should be a collaboration, a respect, and effective communication between the practitioner and the ECD heads to make followers to be leaders. These are the references that I have used when I'm preparing this presentation. I thank you. And this is the time for contribution and suggestion and any addition, because I am planning to develop a paper from this study wherein I can send it to any journal. I thank you. Over to you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Dr. Why am I having an echo? Thank you so much, Dr. Shonisani. This was such an awesome presentation, and really it speaks to relevant issues in the ECD sector. Do we have any questions? I'll see by the raise of hand if we have any question, any concerns. This is a work in progress. So Dr. Shonisani wants our advices so that she can add more to her paper. Any hands? Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, I do have some concern coming from me as a chairperson. Can you hear me, Doctor? Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, Chair. Yes.
Okay. I do have a concern, and this is so amazing that almost all contexts, all rural contexts are experiencing the same. I'm so glad that you highlighted the issue that you will find that the center manager is always the one who established the center. Yes. And yes. I am worried because now I am looking at the age, because you find that most of them are pensioners, and again, most of them are no longer interested in studying further. So I don't know how far you can go with your study, because you need to also be looking at the transition. How are they going to accept the transition, like you're saying, as from the April 2022 rather, the ECD sector is now going to be governed by DBE. So do you have any clue what could be done in order to mitigate challenges that might be experienced during that time regarding the age and also the level of qualification?
Thank you for your question, Chair. I think that is a good and a very important question. Currently, what we did as a university vendor, we have just get an approval of training these practitioners, even though it is also focusing on the grade 12 students who passed with a higher certificate, and the certificate is approved where they attended the class for a year, and after that they obtain a certificate. So what I've already initiated is, because in our institution there is a preschool that is operating, and we do have the social worker that are coming to monitor the preschool that is inside the university. I have already wrote a letter with my HOD so that we can even have chance to train those practitioners. As you have indicated, some they are old. Maybe they can have that idea to send their practitioners to come and attend on their behalf. Because those who are old, as you have indicated, in most cases, they are even using their mother tongue to teach the classroom. So we planned even to have to cater those that will divide ourselves class, wherein we can have those the school heads, ECD heads. Maybe that is our plan, and we are hoping that it will be working. I thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarity. Do we have any questions, any concerns? No. Congratulations, Dr. Shonisan. It means that your presentation was very clear. Thank you. And you were also within the time limits.
Thank you so much.
Colleagues, now we have... Okay, thank you so much. Can you please stop sharing? Oh, there is a hand. I'm so sorry. There is a hand, Dr. Modise.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Modise, you can unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you, Dr. Shonisani, for a wonderful presentation. Mine is not a question, it's like a comment on way forward in what you intending to do. I think in your plan, you may also consider going back to the center managers who are owners and try to find out what is their view regarding job shadowing, or what do we call it? Handing over the baton to the young people, just to get their views so that you are able to know where you are moving from and where to. Because like you say, it is true, and your research is similar to what is happening in the areas that we have conducted research in the rural areas also, that most of the center managers, they are the owners, and they don't see it fit. Sometimes they don't see it fit to be just directors, can I say, and appoint principals, young people as principals to lead the centers. Thank you.
Noted, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Modise. Really, that is what is happening across. There is another hand from Abe. Ooh, I can't even read your name. I'm so sorry about that, but there is a hand. Can you please? Yeah. Can you please repeat your name?
Thank you, Chairperson. Adebumi.
Adebumi. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Adebumi. Yes.
Oh, Dr. Adebumi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shoni. Yeah. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation, Dr. Shonisani. Yeah, it's actually a very, very good one, and I believe it's going to contribute to knowledge because management of school, the leadership aspect is very, very important, and most especially for the context that you are looking into. So it's just a suggestion. When I look into your title, I think just you need to make it like more focused by looking into maybe the practitioner perception regarding the ECD principal's managerial role. Because when you indicate leadership and management, it's vast. I was initially thinking, could it be classroom management? You know, so maybe you can try to narrow it down to like maybe ECD principals managerial roles, and also a contribution or suggestion regarding the data collection. I believe this can make a significant contribution because after looking into interview, you can also look into policies. What are the policies, internal policies that are generated by the manager or by the owner of the school regarding people's management, regarding even parental management? You might discover that there's nothing existing. So that would be like a good contribution or significant contribution from your own study. Thank you once again, Chairperson. Thank you, Dr. Shoni.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Adebumi. Yes, I might reiterate what you are saying because I was also looking at the title, but I didn't get the gist that she's going to be speaking about the ECD managers, because I was thinking that it's more of ECD practitioners. She's looking more at the perceptions of ECD practitioners rather than looking at the ECD center managers' roles. Yeah, I think really you have to reword your title so that it captures the essence.
Thank you so much, Chair, because as I've already indicated that I'm going to develop a paper, so it means my paper will include as advised. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. That was so wonderful. And now we have our second presenter, Dr. Khabo, Dr. MV Khabo. Oh, there's another hand. Is it an old hand or a new hand? Is it an old hand or a new hand?
Whose hand is that?
It's Martin C. Okay. Are you having a new hand?
It doesn't look like.
Okay. Oh, okay, no problem. Can you please stop sharing, Dr. Shonisani? Now we have a new presenter. Our second presenter is Dr. Khabo. Are you here, Doc? Doc, are you here? If Dr. Khabo is not here, I don't see him or her. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Hello, Dr. Chair.
Yes, Chair.
Dr. Khabo is from our institution and she has not been well. She has been on leave for quite some time.
Oh, so is there anyone representing her?
No.
No. So, Dr. Modise, it means that you are the one who's going next. The time now is 10 to 3. You will have your time till 10 past 3 for presenting, and thereafter you will have your 10 minutes for question and answer. Your title is The Nature of Pedagogical Support Provided by the Head of Departments to Reception Year Teachers in Public Schools. Over to you, Dr. Modise.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you for being part of this session. Like the Chair has alluded, I'm Tsidi Modise from UNISA. a senior lecturer in the Department of Early Childhood Education. I would like to present to you this draft paper emanating from my PhD study. The title of the paper is The Nature of Pedagogical Support Provided by the Foundation Phase Heads of Department to Grade R Teachers in Primary School. My presentation is structured around the points projected on the slide, starting from the background through research methodology, and will be ending with conclusion. This is still work in progress, and I will welcome any questions, inputs, and suggestions at the end that will advance the completion of the paper. Sorry, Chair, are you recording?
No, I'm not recording. The thing is, I went to the recording option. It's inactive. So that is why we ended up not recording.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why. Even when Dr. Shonisani was chairperson, it was also she was also experiencing the same.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, really. I don't know what to do it. I'm so sorry, Dr. Mudise. There is a hand from Tembi, Hala Tembi.
No, but sorry, Chair, I just see from my side it says recording has started.
Oh, maybe they
I don't know why. Okay.
Maybe they are doing it from Aline. Maybe is doing it because here you can't even press it. It's inactive. Okay. Maybe he's recording all the sessions. That is what we thought earlier on. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Please, you continue.
Okay, I'll continue. Grade R teachers in South African schools receive their ongoing pedagogical support from Foundation Phase Heads of Departments. To have an impact on teachers' instruction and subsequent positive learner outcomes does include, or rather requires, continuous, individualized, and ongoing pedagogical support by the school leadership. In this case, it would be by the HOD to Grade R teachers. The focus of this paper is on Grade R in public primary schools, who are supervised and supported by Foundation Phase HODs. It is the responsibility of the HODs in public primary schools to monitor and support pedagogic activities in Grade R classes as they form part of the Foundation Phase classes in South African schools.
I'm sorry again, Dr. Modis. I'm so sorry to disturb you. Yeah. You are not sharing your screen.
Oh, yes. That is my also concern. I was raising hands about that. No problem.
Yeah, please share your screen first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Anyways, we were born before technology, so
yeah. Now where will I start?
Yeah.
Where's the arrow for sharing?
Can you see where there is a hand there? There is the first icon for attendance, and then there's that bubble for messages.
Yes.
Then there is that person raising a hand.
Yes.
Okay, go straight next to leave. There is an arrow there.
Yes.
Yeah, click on that arrow.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Click on that arrow.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Then here, click on slideshow so that we can be able to see it. Slideshow.
I'll just move to.
Yeah, click on current, just current, because you have already. Oh, it's going to start from the beginning. Okay.
I'll start from here. Grade R teachers in South African schools receive their ongoing pedagogical support from the Foundation Phase HODs. To have an impact on teacher instruction and subsequent positive learner outcomes includes, or rather requires, continuous, individualized, and an ongoing pedagogical support by the school leadership. The focus of this paper is on Grade R in public primary schools who are supervised by the Foundation Phase HOD. It is the responsibility of the HODs in public primary schools to monitor and support pedagogic activities in grade R classes as they form part of the foundation phase in South African schools. Little is known about how HODs provide pedagogical support to grade R teachers. This is the knowledge gap that this paper intends addressing. The aim of this paper is therefore to investigate the nature of pedagogical support that HODs are providing to grade R teachers based in public schools. This study made use of condition agency model of supervision that describes a supervisor as someone who has a delegated authority to enhance, evaluate, coordinate, supervises on the job performance as she is accountable. That is according to Kadush and Hackness 2014. In educational supervision, the primary issue for Kadush is the HOD knowing how to perform their job well, to be accountable for work performed, and develop skills through learning and feedback. In this paper, I used an interpretive research paradigm with qualitative approach to understand the lived experiences of head of departments, to gain in-depth knowledge and understanding regarding the phenomena in question. The research adopted an exploratory case study design using semi-structured interviews to generate data from HODs through focus group interviews. 7 foundation phase heads of department who were purposefully sampled from 5 schools in Gauteng North District were interviewed. The schools were selected according to their socio-economic status. That is, they were from rural, semi-rural, and farm schools. Data were thematically analyzed using computer-assisted software, Atlas TI. Thematic analysis was employed to analyze data, adopting an inductive approach, which was chosen for its satisfactory interpretive nature, as stated by Liu 2016, which fitted the research. Freeze 2019 6 steps of thematic analysis was also followed, starting from preparation of data and ending with labeling and coding of data. From the analyzed data that was generated, the following 3 themes emerged, that is material support, teaching practice, and insufficient support that I have highlighted in red. In this slide, I just want to give you a synopsis of the verbatim responses from participants. Some of the participants under material support, this is what they said: head of department number 4 at school 4, we support them by controlling their lesson plans and acquisition of the resources. HOD number 5 at school 5 said, I make sure that the educators have resources as they supposed to have. That's why we had material support. With teaching practice, one HOD said, I also support them by visiting them in class and having face meetings. Although the visit to class is not that thorough because there is no time, I support them by visiting them this class, he reiterated. HOD number 2, he said, yes, we do class visits, which I can call them rounds because we do that during break times. I will be doing follow-up using the observation book. HOD 6, yes, to sit in the class and observe the lesson. I usually do it after breaks. From the responses again of the participant, this came out that there was insufficient support. HOD number 1 said, I support them by visiting them in class and having face meetings, although the visit to the classes is not thorough because there is no time. I highlighted the insufficient support because the same HOD is the one who commented about the material support. HOD2, I'm not only managing grade R, I am also doing grade 1 to 3. And HOD number 3 also shared the same view as other participants, that the issue of support for her is difficult one. She referred to what the other colleagues said. We are trying, but the workload is just too much. Remember, we also have classes to teach and have grade 1 classes to 3 classes to support and supervise. Literature was reviewed on the components of support like observation and classroom observation, looking at the leadership components of support and elements of pedagogical support. Material support, with acquisition under material support, acquisition of resources, BER 2014 affirmed that the HOD's leadership, amongst other things, is reflected in his ability to mobilize resources and support the school. There is consistent with literature on how important provision and acquisition of resources is in supporting teachers. Bisman and Orad 2014, who cites the use of resources by teachers as helping in reinforcing what is being taught in class, meaning that the emphasis here is on material support to the practitioners. They should not be folding arms and say we don't have resources, and the HOD should play a vital role in making sure that the practitioners do get material support. Kelly and Antino 2016 view the support of others within their profession as critical for a teacher's development. With regard to insufficient support, Sai and Bringsley said that teachers who receive little support experience more burnout, illness than those who receive more support from their supervisors. When it comes to the findings, the responses from the HODs also revealed that grade R teachers received support in the areas of teaching practice such as lesson planning, class visits, observation, curriculum, implementation, and management plans, and using monitoring tools. These were clustered and came onto the same theme like teaching practice. Supporting grade R teachers might seem a straightforward and easy task of planning and implementing the plan by the HOD. However, this might be a complex and not practical task which involves different areas where support is needed. This is further corroborated by the results from this research, which revealed the participants' areas of support to the grade R teachers that is needed. This research argues that support itself to grade R teachers is one of the factors that contribute to the quality in ECE centers. The participants' results also revealed that the support provided to grade R teachers was not sufficient. The implications to policy and practice are as follows. This research recommends that the Department of Education develop a support program for HODs, provision of continuous capacity building program on grade R management and leadership for the HODs. They should also consider prioritizing knowledge of grade R in appointing HODs. A means of revisiting the HOD's responsibility and bringing balance between being a class teacher and supervising other grades from grade 1 to 3 is also required or can be considered. This paper has looked at some of the issues involved in providing support to grade R teachers in public school, and has argued for support through the provision and acquisition of resources and teaching practice. Literature on different kinds of support required was also discussed. A brief deliberation on the forms of support was also done, and the areas causing insufficient support by HODs were noted. It is my view that when grade R teachers receive adequate support, as alluded to in the research, they will feel more capacitated, more empowered, and more confident in the work they do, and will also have a healthy emotional state, which will have a positive impact towards their quality of teaching. The results of this research are important in highlighting critical areas of support required by grade R teachers for improved quality practices. This brings me to the end of my presentation, and I will hand over to the chair for any questions and comments if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Modi. Dr. Modise, you also maintained time. Do we have any questions, colleagues? Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Let us wait for colleagues. Oh, there is a question there, Dr. Samson.
Thank you so much, Dr. Modise. And thank you for a wonderful presentation. So I just want to find out, it's not a question, it's just like a comment like that I heard you say the grade R teachers need to get a support from some supervisors or maybe from the HODs. So naturally, Dr. Modise, you might find that there are supervisors who are lazy, who are not creative, who are not even innovative. So do you have any plan to assist? Because in some grade R, I don't know at your side, at our side, you find grade R using the very old posters that when even they try to paste them on the chalkboard, they fall down because they are no longer looks like the way that Blanas can see. So don't you have any plan or have any strategy or intervention that you can assist them to learn how to develop? Because you might find that their head are not having innovative enough, are not creative enough that they can train the grade R teachers to have a teaching learning material. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Like you said, I'm not sure whether it's a question or a comment. Going back to what I could have maybe alluded at the beginning, that the main study emanated from my previous work as a district official who was responsible for supporting the grade R practitioners. And during that time, I would find I was supporting both community-based and public schools. But when going to the site, to the public school to support grade R teachers, you would find that the HOD are tasked with the responsibility of supporting them, but they were not trained around supervision and support of grade R teachers. And by that time, the grade R practitioners, most of them, they were not qualified, hence the study came up. But the status quo currently, I can say it has slightly changed because in Gauteng, majority of grade R practitioners were offered bursaries and they went to acquire their professional qualifications. In helping them to be creative and innovative, I should think capacitation or a continuous workshop by the head of departments or NGO with collaboration will also help to open up the minds of practitioners to be able to see that, oh, if we don't have this, we can also create or do our own resources, not wait for the manager to buy or for the school to buy. They can create their own, and they can also reflect back at their indigenous practices as they were growing, the games that they were playing, what were they using? For an example, you look at the ball, you cannot say we don't have ball. You get material from the house and you use that material to create resources that you need. Thank you.
No, I'm covered. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, colleagues. Do we have any other question? Thank you so much, Dr. Modise. Really, that was very wonderful. And maybe again, I don't know there in Gauteng, because I remember when we're in a leadership in ECCE conference, that the context is not the same. But here in KZN, because it has been long that grade R is now established under the school establishment, and it's just a norm, it's just normal that learners are attending a mainstream school together with other learners. I've seen that grade R teachers really are doing wonders. They are working, they are doing their best. And what I've also realized was that there is an allocation of funds that are set aside just for grade R. Even though they are deposited into the school's account, but it's just for a grade R. Maybe that also can improve the nature of pedagogical support if that could be applied across provinces. Yeah. Okay, colleagues, if we do not have any other presentation, is Dr. Khab, oh, you said no, she's not here, by the way. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can, Doctor.
Oh, yes, we are with you.
You don't have the recording for Dr. Khabo?
No, I didn't receive. In fact, I received a file last night with only one presentation. So, yeah, then the other two, Aline said I was going to receive them this morning. But anyways, because you are here, it's now okay. But the problem is with Dr. Khabo now.
No, she's not well at all. Even her voice doesn't come okay. She's not well.
Hey, Shame, it's so bad, really. It's so bad. Nowadays, really, it's so bad with all the sicknesses that we experience. Anyways, let's call it a day then, because we were going to have our session ending at 15:50, but because, we can share any thoughts, any insights, we can still share. Let me open this time for that. If there is anything that you want to share. Martin Eke. Yes, Martin Eke. Another one is Dr. Modise. Over to you, colleagues.
Is Martin coming in?
I hope so, but I don't know what happened because the hand is still up. You can go. You can come in, Dr. Modise, if there's anything that you want to say.
Okay. Good afternoon again, colleagues. I don't know whether I will be out of order, but this emanates from the presentation that was made in the morning from our plenary session with regard to our research impacting policy and practice. And a suggestion was brought forward that maybe we could collaborate within SARA-EASE so that we could collaborate within SARA-EASE and form groups of collaboration, maybe writing or research collaboration, where now we'll be able to share ideas, share good practices, and do research together and bring forward our findings with one voice and recommendations. Now, I'm seeing we are here and we have an interest, or our niche area is around leadership in early childhood education, which is not well researched subject. It is not well spoken of. And my suggestion is, how about then collaborating as colleagues and look into the discourses of leadership in early childhood in South Africa? I don't know, or the different areas that we are, if we are all from South Africa. But honestly speaking, the issue of leadership in ECD, ECD setup is not a well-discussed issue, is not a well-spoken issue, and there's a lot that is happening in ECD in terms of leadership. Thank you.
Seconded, Dr. Modise.
Can I come in now?
Yes. Oh, you are back. Yes, come in.
Thank you very much, Chair. My comment, or maybe a question, goes to Dr. Shonisani. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's an opportunity meeting you. I've heard so much about you from Professor Ina Hubert.
Oh, that's wonderful. She was my supervisor.
Yes, and me too. And your PhD was very helpful to me. My question is this. With regards to the April you referred to, is it that the DBE would now take up the responsibility of the HODs of the centers? Is it that the DBE would take the responsibility, say, like paying of staff and determining everything that goes on in these private ECD centers? Because I'm imagining, like we have said, some of these centers are run by elderly people who probably have retired from the secular civil service work system, and they established this on their own, and now they are going to be handing over to DBE. How is that going to be? Do you think they are going to accept this very well, that something, their baby they seem to be nurturing is taken over by DBE? Don't you think it would cause much more harm than in reality than it even is presently? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Doctor. Maybe they are still busy planning, and both suggestions that you have indicated, I think it will be also part of it. Remember, in our here at Limpopo, I don't know at Gauteng and others, the Department of Education try to nominate or select the practitioners from ECD centers to teach grade Rs. Most of the grade Rs in schools here at Limpopo, they are nominated or selected from the ECD centers. So you might find that it will assist, can be also assisting, and they are giving them a stipend, of which it is also part of alleviating the poverty. So it means you might find that both ideas of stipend or paying them and also training, because remember in ECD, in social development currently, the ECD centers are run by social workers. But under the Department of Basic Education, there are curriculum advisors specialized with early childhood education. So hopefully you might find that they do have idea, even though I don't know, I'm just assuming that maybe they have checked and realized that the social workers, they cannot even encourage anything like as the presentation of Dr. Modise. They cannot even share any ideas on how to train the grade R teachers to develop a learning material. But in basic education, there are curriculum advisors. And curriculum advisors, mostly they are working with us here at the University of Venda. So you might find that that idea can assist. I thank you. I don't know whether I asked your question.
Thank you so much about sharing that, Dr. Shonisani. I'm going to share with you something maybe not that much relevant to our convo, but we were having a meeting with one of the ECD center managers. So this one lady told us that, we shared the news that the Department of Education is now going to be taking over the issue of ECD centers and all those things. She said, never, that will never happen. This is my ECD center. I started it with my own money and it's on my premises. How can I be letting somebody to manage the center, yet these children are having certificates. They only have certificates for teaching. They don't have any experience. They don't have any passion for teaching these young ones. I don't know how it's going to happen, really, because that is their only source of income.
Yes.
Yeah. Just imagine when you are taking food from their tables and you think that somebody is going to teach these learners, these young babies, toddlers and children on their premises. That's the point. How I'm thinking about the safety. I'm thinking about the interaction between those people. I don't know. Really, I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah.
Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see. That is what that lady said. She's such a good principal. Her school is very good. It's functioning very well. But she said, let's wait and see. I'm not going to allow it. Yeah.
And now, Doctor, when we come to the issue that raised by Dr. Modise, I think I'm also seconding that.
Yes.
Because if we even collaborate with also my colleagues, Martin, to hear what is happening. Martin, where are you coming from?
Yeah, that's actually what I want to say. I'm coming from Nigeria.
So you see now.
Yes, so I think a crossbreeding of idea will help.
Yes, a lot.
If we are in a position to advise policymakers and the government, we should advocate that government serve as quality assurance to the ECD centers that are privately owned. Like in Nigeria, we have privately owned ECD centers as far back as 1980s. Even before the government began to, accept ECD as it were, and it's now within the public school. We have private owners who invest money into it, and they're even running it properly. So what government did was this: they allow private practitioners to run their ECD the way they think it is, but there is a standard. There is a standard for ECDs, and the government ensures that the privates are controlled, make sure that the private meets up with this standard, and actually in most cases, the private practitioners are even above the standards. Then the government-owned schools, the government-owned public schools, they accept the reception class. I think that's what is being called here. We will call it the pre-primary, the class before grade 1. So they
Only grade
integrated
R.
the grade R. They integrated the grade R into the main public school system. So as soon as the child graduates from pre-nursery 1, 2, 3, as the child is in pre-nursery 3, which is the grade R, the child had already entered into the primary school stream. So from that reception class, it becomes primary 1 for the public schools. So what the government does is they take care from grade R in their public primary schools. So when you see a HM in primary school, that HM is also a HM for all the grade R. Why the private practitioners, they also do their thing, but are being checked and monitored to ensure they uphold the standard as stipulated in the policy. Whereas they don't uphold the standard, they close down that ECD center. So that's what happens in Nigeria. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you, Martin. Yeah, I think somehow it's similar to what is happening here in South Africa, because even though they are running their private ECD centers, but the curriculum is the same. It has to be the same. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much about that. Is there any other thing? Let's go back to what Dr. Mudise raised, the issue of having a SIG. Are we seconding the idea?
Yes, personally, I do.
I also
It's
do.
Shonisan.
Okay. I think we need to communicate so that I think we're going to stick with the leadership and management. I don't know, but we need to communicate so that really we can make this work. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much, colleagues. Do we have another session after this?
No.
This is the last session.
This was the last session.
Okay, see you tomorrow. And all the unrest, I don't know, maybe you're not going to sleep again today. I don't know.
Eish.
Hey, all the best.
Yeah, it's very bad. Yeah. Anyways, colleagues, thank you. This was such an insightful engagement. Thank you for sharing with us, Martin, your Nigerian experiences. Yeah, there's a lot that you can write about regarding all this. Thank you
very much. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.
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 I'm there.